I sure am. It's gonna be an awesome, fantastic weekend. I hope you guys have something really cool planned. But first, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna paint this scene with us today. So, we took a 16 by 20 inch canvas. We covered it with our Artist Loft acrylic white gesso. Right, we let that dry. And then just before, I just literally got done doing it. You can see the lids off the brushes we just washed. Our Bob Ross liquid white oil paint. Now, this stuff is very liquidy, and it allows the canvas to stay wet for a very long time. And that allows us to go back and change things and paint and make stuff up and fix that and this and all the rest, right? So you need this stuff in order to make the technique work. So if you don't have Bob Ross liquid white, get Bob Ross liquid white. You can find it on Amazon. I actually have an Amazon store, a little storefront, like an affiliate shop. You can go to amazon.com/shop/paintwithjosh and get all the stuff that I have or wish that I had. Now, today we're going to be using Phthalo Blue, Alizarin Crimson, Midnight Black, and Titanium White. 4 colors, that's it. Nice, simple, little limited palette, and I'm going to show you all the cool things we can do with it, right? It's been very stormy and dark in Las Vegas recently because it's monsoon season and it just dumps rain every afternoon. So I've been seeing a lot of crazy cool clouds, and I'm going to try to recreate some of those clouds, maybe do a sky like you've never seen before, and hopefully teach you how to do it at the same time, right? So we're going to get zoomed in. We're going to go nice and slow. Make sure everybody's following along. You can see just a little bit of that Bob Ross liquid white on my gloves. All you really need. It's not a whole lot of paint. You really want to just put it in separate areas and stretch it to the limit, right? And I have tons of videos showing different ways that we do that. And almost every video I show you how to do it. But today, we're going to jump right into it, right? So let's get zoomed in. And we'll see what we got going on here. Already with the stars. You guys are the best. Thank you, thank you. Hello, welcome. Make sure you tell us where you're watching from, who you're watching with, and what time is it where you are. Let's see. We always like to know the time of day that you are watching. Hang on, I gotta get YouTube all motion sickness here. See if we can't get it zoomed in just right. There we go, nice full screen. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Here we are, we're here with Paint with Josh, and we're gonna have some fun. And I'm gonna show you, it's very easy to paint, right? I like to show you nice, easy things to do because if it's not easy, you're not going to continue to do it, right? So again, Phthalo Blue, Alizarin Crimson, Midnight Black, Titanium White. You don't need to have all of these colors. They don't have to be the exact same name or the exact same brand. If you have blue, crimson, red, and black and white, then you're going to be set, right? So let's come in and we're going to just get a little bit of the Phthalo Blue onto the brush. Just a little couple swipes. And I swear to you, I saw a sky like this today, and that's what we're going to kind of do. So, little bit. We're going to blend it out just very slightly, right? A lot of this stuff is going to get all covered up, and we just want to have these little pops of blue in there. Be nice and easy. And you can tell, we're going to wash the brush off, and I'll show you just how easily that stuff will blend with that liquid white on the canvas. It is literally magic. Bob Ross used to call it magic white, and they like changed manufacturers or something happened. They had to change the name. I don't know, because I don't read or Google anything. But it used to be called magic white, and it's literally magic. It's fantastic. Look at all this stuff. It'll just blend and blend and blend until that blue goes to white. It's crazy. Hello, London. London's in the house.
Super strong with your white.
It smells super strong?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I put new thinner in my cup. And we've just been washing the brush and stuff, but that's about it. Okay, very light, very soft little pops of blue in there. And that's pretty much it. Let's take a little bit of that blue. I'm gonna come in from the side and get more blue on the brush as we go down deep into the corner. See how it gets darker like that? And the further and further we go up, it's gonna mix with that white and become this lighter color. And you notice we're pulling from the side. We're not starting in the center and pulling this way because they're gonna have a harsh line right here that you would have to blend out. And it becomes sort of difficult. So, let's see. Nice soft little things. Again, when you got all that paint on your brush, start at the bottom so it's nice and dark. And then it will work its way and become lighter and lighter and lighter as we go up. Very cool. And this can be water, it can be snow, it can be all sorts of stuff. It doesn't have to just be one thing. Let's wash that brush off again just so it's nice and clean and dry. All right. Now, we had this crazy clouds here recently. I was telling them, Hunt, about I didn't tell them about the storm last night. That was nuts too. But we've had crazy clouds in the sky every day because it's monsoon season. So I'm gonna do this crazy kind of monsoony type sky. I'm just gonna take the midnight black very lightly because I want it to blend into this gray color. Right? I want it to be this light gray. I don't want it to be super dark. And what it is this is a cloud, and that's the open sky through the cloud. Told you, you're never gonna see a sky like this one on a tutorial. Very light amount, bringing the gray around, leave those little bits of blue, and it's literally just that easy, and that whole thing is now a giant cloud across the sky. It's very cool. Very cool, someone just like it today. All right, again, we're not over blend anything too much. I have these crazy giant white areas around these, all these edges, gray, little bit of a cloud throughout our whole sky. You know what I mean? You can go down as far as you want. It doesn't really matter much. Very neat. Let's get a little bit more of the black, just because I like the corners just a little bit darker. We'll just take that and dump it in a little bit more, just so we can see that there's a little bit of a change in there. There we go. Maybe a little darker underneath too, but we're going to play with that all. The whole time we're playing with the sky's just going to get progressively darker and darker, so don't start too dark. Just like that. Bam, 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 bam. Very cool. Okay, let's wash this off, and we won't need the 2-inch brush for a while. So set it down, throw it over to the side, let her dry off. All right. Okay, let's get our fan brush out, and we can make these little wispy edges of our cloud just by coming in and tapping into the dark area and the black and the blue. Because again, we're not trying to stay around that circle, we're trying to cover something. We want it to disappear. Just tap it in, and then we're going to come up with our 1-inch brush, and you're just going to make little circles with it. Just little soft little things, and it'll blend into those colors of the blue and the gray and everything else, and then all of a sudden you can start to see there's little bits of cloud in there. What's up, honey?
Crystal says it looks like something from Mario right now.
Ha! I see Jack Skellington, big Jack eyes, and then like, I don't know, just imagine the rest of his face. Take our 2-inch brush and just very lightly and softly just pop over the top. That's all you need. All you need is just a disconnect between those harsh lines of that color. And then we have our little bit of cloud in there. Let's go back in. We're going to grab up some more white just on the brush. And the more paint that you put in here, or if you don't blend it out real super fine, it's going to want to change the color of all of your white that you start putting up here. It's going to change it into a different color. So you really have to blend those colors when we're kind of initially putting the clouds in or the sky in, and really get it blended in order for it not to kind of turn all of your clouds instantly blue, right?
Lynette Brandel says, greetings from Australia, watching with my Paint with Josh mug filled with tea.
Hey, love that Paint with Josh mug. Tanya Rodriguez also has one of those Paint with Josh mugs. Very, very stylish mug. If you're looking for mugs, that's the place to go. paintwithjosh.etsy.com. Thank you, Lynette. Let's see, pop in another little bit. And all we're doing is just dabbing in this white. And so when we mix it with our 1-inch brush, it creates little cloudy shapes. Just making it soft, right? Literally twisting it up. All the clouds are just a bunch of twisted up water vapor and nonsense, right? That's all it really is. It's just a bunch of this. So that's all we're doing with our clouds. It's just making them all crazy. Right, let's see. If we want to make them a little bit brighter, we're going to use the palette knife just to kind of keep those areas super thick where we want them to stand out. Because again, it wants to mix with all of the little bits of blue and dark gray that we've put underneath. Right? And if we leave these giant clumps up there all randomly, then when you very lightly blend it out, you can see what it does there. It stays much brighter than the rest because there's more paint and it's in a random area, so you're going to get these cool, real, realistic looking clouds. Because all it is, remember, just a bunch of jumbled up nonsense. It's literally it. And then take it and flatten it down before you go start on your next little cloud. Right? We've done that one area. Now before we go do our another area, let's flatten it down, see what it looks like, see what else we need to have. Maybe I think I remember there was a bit more kind of white that went out into over the top of the gray over here. Right? So just blend it down. Start taking it, working its way, and as it blends, it starts to become darker just slightly. And so then when it's white, fresh white again, that pops. It gives you that contrast, that little play of light and dark. That's all that art is. It's light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, all the way down. And if we can do that, then we've really done our job. I asked people who they were watching with today, too.
Oh,
So she said her.
the comments make sense now.
Ah. Oh, yeah. See, it's like we punched a hole through that cloud back there. And then you can see the blue sky off in the distance. Let's come over here with our white. Maybe mix up a little bit of black with that so we get this grayish color. Don't want to go too black, though. We're going to save that darkness for the bottom of the cloud. So now we have this gray color. Again, it's going to mix in with colors up here and going to become different. So let it change, let it mix in. You get all those little differences in color. It's fantastic. I think our 1-inch brush, still haven't washed it. Still all nasty and gross. Just taking our little counterclockwise circles because it's more comfortable for my hand to do counterclockwise versus clockwise circles, right? Sometimes we go clockwise, but you just get a different look. To me, when I do it, I get a different look. So I'm always doing the counterclockwise circles. But you can do clockwise if it's more comfortable for you. There we go. A little bit of that gray in there sort of really pushes those clouds back further and further and further. Get a little bit more white, right? Come back in, stay kind of underneath that little bit of gray. And every so often pop out over the top of it. See what I mean?
Billy the Kid on YouTube says, "Hey Josh, new fan here. You've inspired me to get working on setting up my studio again and getting back into painting. You're awesome and I love the Bob Ross vibe."
Hey, thank you. That's very cool. I'm glad we can, we'd inspire. I literally, they're becoming more and more frequent now that I get comments like that. Like, oh, you really inspired me to take out brushes. I'm 70 years old. And now, you know, I want to get back into oil painting after watching you. And like, there's nothing more touching than that. It really isn't. Very flat. Flatten them down. Before we put on our next layer, right? Very softly.
Cheryl on YouTube says, "Do you have a reference photo this week?"
No, not this week. We're making it up as we go. That's what we like to do. Make it up as we go, and then we can sort of, like, my reference photo this week is what I saw in the sky at about, 2:30 this afternoon. I went outside and saw what we're trying to kind of recreate.
Right.
So I guess that is, the reference photo's in my brain.
Right, that's what I was trying to get at. Remember guys, it does also massively help if you click the link, go visit the shop, send emojis, press the like button. It does make a huge difference. Please, if you can, share it to your page so that other people can enjoy it as much as you're enjoying it. It does make a huge difference, so please do so.
Thank you. Yeah, any shares or comments, especially comments, they push it out to more people. And then those people watch it and they might leave a comment. And then that goes out to more people that they know, and more people that they know, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Let's take this little bit, just swipe it to the side, see if we can't get like a little deep, dark bit of shadow underneath our cloud. And see, that's almost too dark. So let's mix it up just slightly. The more we mix it, the lighter it's going to become, because we have all the white in the sky, the white on the canvas, everything else, right? Just mix it until it starts to lighten up. And go, ooh, okay, this looks cool now. Now we can sort of tell, maybe we pop another little bit in front of there, or underneath, what's going on. But again, watch, the more and more and more we mix it, the lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter it becomes until you can't even really tell where, where is it stopped now, and how far have we blended it down, you know what I mean? Very cool little thing. Very cool. It's almost like we blended out the little top section of it. So let's add a little bit more of that white down in there. Just let it fall down over this gray area, right? Just like that. Bam, bam, bam. Little circles help make it look more realistic, like it's rolling this way. It's coming out towards us, right? Very cool. Just that. It's very cool. You have that little bit of dark with the light coming over the top, just the smallest amount. Almost like the clouds are going to roll over and go underneath. Super neat. All right, let's find, we're going to go back to that gray color down here, right? But I don't want to go super that dark again and then have to work at it that much. So let's mix it up, get a little bit of the white in there, bring it back to that lighter gray color, and then we can always darken it, right? Let's come up in here, maybe we'll throw this whole nother little thing that's all attached to this same gray color that's around. It's all part of the same cloud, right? Come in here very lightly, and you want to go outside of the lines, right? We're not making a mountain here. We want to go up above the line, have it be all crazy, pushes everything else back. You don't want to be straight, you know, we're not trying to make mountains. That's for sure. You know, it looks cool too if we put a little bit more of that darkness down in here. So let's go back to that darker color. See if we can't do that. And then everything we do, it just starts to look neater and neater and neater and neater and neater until it just doesn't look so neat anymore and you've done too many, right? It's happened to me too. Little soft little guy. Very cool. And we could cover all this. We could do, you know, I never know how far we're going to come down. But when I'm making the clouds, if I find a spot that I really, really, really like, then I'll try to save that area, at least one little area, when we start doing mountains and stuff. Just a little bit of that white. Again, it wants to grow like crazy, so sometimes you can just pull it straight off to the side with these little wispy bits that kind of sit down in the front of those clouds that are way off there, right? Very cool. You can mix it until you like the way that it looks. Swipe at it, go back, change it, do whatever you want. And you just start getting more and more and more depth. Very neat. Let's put some of that white up here. A little bit though, because I don't want it to grow down now and cover my cool little floater cloud that's in there. He's like kind of hiding. He's hiding back in here now. We don't want to cover him up. Very small amount of that white. Right, you don't want to have too many layers on your canvas either because it starts getting to the point where when you swipe you can see all your brush strokes in the canvas. And that's how you know you got too many little layers of paint on there. And we're almost at that point, so we're going to have to move on. That looks really cool though. Really cool. It would look a little bit neater though if these would really pop out bright. So let's go like that. Just make them a little bit brighter. Dump a little bit of color down underneath. And try not to get rid of it all. That's the key. There we go. And they don't all have to be the same amount of brightness or anything. There we go. That looks better. Nice little stormy little sky back here. Very soft. Blend it out so when you go across it, you're not really pulling all of these crazy streaks of paint across the canvas, right? Very cool. Very cool. Let's do one more thing that we always get a lot of comments on, and that would be our chemtrail. Ooh, we'd have to sneak it though. Wouldn't really look, I mean, we could throw it right out here. Like it was flying from the blue into the gray, which is kind of cool. Softly though, and you don't have to be super straight. Like it's not, they're not a very straight thing. They are right when they come out, but the wind is blowing so hard up there that it moves them around very quickly. So majority of the time, you're not going to see a perfectly straight one. Yeah, just like that. Very cool sky. Very, very, very cool. Okay, let's take up a little of our black and crimson and blue, and we'll make this far away little mountain. Maybe we'll make 2 mountains today. Maybe 2, maybe 1. See what it looks like. What other people got to say, babe?
Not much. I think they're all dazed and confused watching you paint.
Okay. Well, we do enjoy when you comment. London tries to read out all the comments, all the relevant ones. And I try to respond in real time. That's what we like to do around here. Versus me trying to look at your camera and scroll to find the last comment. How long would the video take then, right? Let's see. What's up?
5-hour live because you have to turn around every 2 minutes.
Yeah, right. There we go. Got to go up and cover some of those favorite bits of your cloud. Get out there and cover it. All right, come down. Ooh, save that little bit that went underneath there because they look neat. Just maybe have that guy go off the distance. So we can always come in with a second little bit of mountain, depending on what we want to do. And don't make your peak too close to the edge, where you always have to come in and kind of fill it in with some trees and stuff. So let's see. You can always decide what you want it to look like kind of before you even start. Come up here, grab your bit of paint, very lightly pulling it down. It's going to blend in with those different colors that are on the canvas, so all that white. It's going to want to make it go lighter, so light touch, light touch.
Kermit on Facebook says awesome work, but
Thank you. Who said that? What was his name?
Kermit Williams.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that.
Darlene over on YouTube says hi and then followed it up with hi London. You know, just because it's me.
Well, yeah, everybody loves London. If you don't know already, London is my gorgeous wife, and she helps out tremendously in all of these live videos. Without her, again, I'd be like I would just forget about you guys eventually and just focus on painting, and then we wouldn't even interact, and that's not very fun, right? We like you guys talking with us so we can talk back. Have a good old chat, have a laugh, tell some jokes, all sorts of fun stuff. Just very lightly covering the side with that gray color. And we'll go back and cover this side with our gray color. It only takes a few seconds, and it helps out your buyer. They don't have to frame it if you don't want. You can literally take it out and hang it right up on your wall, and with your sides finished, it looks much more like a real painting than with a bunch of unfinished edges, I like to call it. You have all the white, or like some of the times the paint will kind of wrap around the side. You get that unfinished look. It just doesn't, at least I don't think it looks good. So I always try to finish my sides. And that way, if somebody buys it, they really don't have to do much except hang it up on the wall.
I mean, you could also frame it if you wanted.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just because it's painted on the sides does not mean don't go buy a frame. Let's see, I don't like the shape of this
I
mountain.
want to do a shout out to Caitlin Krug, who just became a new member of the Super Squad.
Hey!
Thank you so much.
Super Squad. You guys rock. We're going to change the shape of the mountain. So the Super Squad is my professional class videos where it's just me up here in the studio teaching you how to paint. They're very in-depth. We don't mess around. There's no chit-chat. There's no anything. No any sort of thing. Like really cool if we do that. Except for me and you, and we're painting. And it's very helpful to the beginner painter who's never even picked up a brush. You can go from a painting zero, from a level 0 to a painting hero. I screwed up my own tagline.
It's okay.
Let's put some of that darkness just deep down in here. We're going to let it blend in with all the white that we're about to use anyway. But we're going to have a nice deep dark side. So just some straight black. We only have a few colors, so we'll just put some straight black over here, and that'll be our shadowy side. And I'm seeing this cool little ridge that's like falling down in here, and we're going to have another little piece of snow coming down. Cool little things. That'll all be lit up by light. Maybe we'll have some darkness back in here just for our snow to blend in with, and all of a sudden you can start to see how we're going to build the mountain just without even doing a single thing. Maybe put some shadowing back in there. It's never all light and it's never all dark. Right? There's always a little mixture, a little bit of both. So I like putting in our shadows first, and that way we can always go back and cover them over and brighten them up with our super bright, pretty highlights. Let's get a little bit of our blue, a lot of bit of our white. We're going to come over here this time. Mix this guy up. Mix in all the white and the blue. You don't really want it to be marbled. Take a little bit of our dark color and mix that in as well. We get this kind of darkish, bluish, grayish, nice little bit of color. And those are our kind of highlight shadows, right? So we're going to go over the top of our darker shadows with these guys. And then we're going to have 3 different types of light in our painting. It's not all about one type of light. It's about differences in color.
You know what we need? We need one of those buttons that we press that's like, whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
yes.
every time somebody joins a membership. Or...
Oh, that was better than what I was thinking. I was thinking for the differences in color. But yeah, when somebody joins the membership, like, like the big club horn, wah, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So thank you for joining the membership, by the way. You should have a lot of fun. There's even little dumb videos out there like Cook with Josh. Like stuff that is so embarrassing that I didn't even want the public to see it. That's what you get on some of those class videos. Let's scrape up a little bit of this light blue with our white. And I guess we'll come up here. Mix that in like that. It's going to look bright white in comparison, even though it's an off-white blue, which is what we want for our farther away mountain. You don't want it to be super bright white if you're going to have bright white down here. It's just not all going to make sense. So let's grab up some of that lighter blue, come up in here, and just literally, I had almost another epiphany today about how to explain how to do the mountains, okay? So, you scoop up your little roll of paint. Everyone listening? Scoop up your little roll of paint. Now, when you come up and touch, you want to touch and feel where the paint touches, and then don't push in anymore, right? We're not trying to flatten it. We're trying to see where it's gonna grab. I go, okay, so it grabs there, and then we're gonna pull down, but pull while hovering over the canvas, right? Not like this, not pushing into it. We're trying to hover and let whatever's gonna fall off fall off. Does that make sense? You try to like just bounce it and let, you know, that's why it breaks like that. It's because it's only touching in certain areas at certain times. And if you're pushing the knife down all the way, then you're not allowing it to only touch in certain areas at certain times. You're giving it too much pressure, and that's causing it not to break. So I hope that's helpful, and that I can portray that in our little videos in the future. For someone who's really struggling with that snow breakage, you just gotta hover it. You don't wanna push, you don't even wanna touch the canvas. You wanna find where the paint touches, stay there. Don't even touch the actual canvas. Don't push in too hard. That's the key.
The individual that joined the membership is Caitlin from my group.
Oh, that's awesome! Welcome. So she's one of my wives, or no? Is she a new wife? No? Does she know she's one of my wives yet?
Yeah,
Or is she finding out now?
No,
She's finding out now.
she knows.
There we go. A little bit of the darkness around in there. You can always go back to that original mountain color and come back in and darken areas up that you don't think would be that lit or whatever. If they're not super lit, go back in, throw in just a little bit of that pure white, and then go over it a few times. Mix it in. See what happens.
Cheryl just commented below on YouTube and said, she knows.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows what it do. Look at that. We're going to try to come in here and sneak it in.
I really, really, really appreciate it. There are other ways that you don't need to spend any money, whether it's sharing or just visiting or just commenting or dropping emojis or pressing the like button on YouTube.
That all helps, guys. Seriously.
It makes massive difference. So please don't think that if you can't afford or send gifts or anything that, you know, you can't support it, because you can. There are tons of ways where you can support that cost no money.
Definitely.
So please, if you share it, like it, write it down, send your grandma the URL. Please just.
It all helps. More than you, like some of my most popular videos are only the most popular because they have 100+ likes on YouTube. You know what I mean? The videos that only have 17 likes on YouTube aren't doing as well.
Joseph Martin says that white smudge in the blue you put on, for an example, is
Right.
killing my OCD.
I'll get rid of it soon. It'll disappear. I just got to go in over the top now with our pure white. And now we're going to have 3 different lights in here. 4 actually. Right? You got our light blue shadows, you got our bright white snow, you got our mountain color, which is that gray, and then that deep dark as well. So, it's just a bounty for your eyeballs. All these little differences make it seem like it's crunched, like it's not just a flat, straight thing, because we have all those little changes. Sorry, honey? Smooshed. Like it looks like one of the doors at work. We have those key card door thingies, and somebody like didn't wait for it to open and yanked on it, or like one day pushed the door open too hard and it crunched itself. You know those metal doors, the same ones that we had at the hangar.
Right.
And then any like little ding, and now the door doesn't want to work right. There we go. Just bouncing it down little bits, right? Doesn't have to all be the same. Cool little things. Take some of that white. Chuck it out there. Remember, you can't cover it all in white, so leave some areas where there's a little bit of shadow.
But why would you do that?
So you have differences in color.
Wah, 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 wah.
I love you, babe. You're so awesome. See, this is why London is on the shows. There we go. Get rid of this for this guy.
Yeah.
Make it better for him.
There you go, Joseph.
There you go, Joseph. All right, very lightly, we're going to swipe up on the sides. And this just, in the opposite direction. So we took our knife, we went down this way. We're going to take our brush and go up this way, right? Just as far as you can go to be comfortable. It just makes it blurry. It makes it
I
soft.
feel like you're not being honest.
What?
You said that this was taken from an image that you have in your head.
Well, but yeah, now I've added the mountain. I did not see the mountain. That's true.
I was gonna say, you're giving people the impression that we live in like the Swiss Alps.
Yeah, right. I wish. A little bit more of that deep, darker blue color in there. It just helps. Look at it. It just helps. But you do one too many in the wrong spot, and then all of a sudden, like that straight line right there, just doesn't look right. Here we go. Bam, just like that. You just got to make it a mess. Make it messy. Put some of that shadow. Anytime it starts to get too gray, and you start losing, and go back and add some of that blue. It just helps give it that kind of shadowy color.
Leave your mountain alone because you can't see it, but the people in the comments can.
What?
This painting shall be called Puppy Mountain
Puppy Mountain.
because there is a dog in your mountain.
Oh, I see it. Eye, nose, ear, right? Back of the head. I like that. Nice, guys. Good observation. All right, just again, very softly. Go up too high on these crazy thick peaks, and it's not going to turn out well for you, trust me. Okay, again, very lightly. Just taking the brush, dragging some of that color down. See how it comes down like that? Just dragging it down, just slightly. That's all we need, just a little bit. You don't have to go that far, like me, right? Just a little bit, then we'll go this way. Just tap, bring it down. Tap up once, go down like 5 times. Tap again, down 5 times. Tap, down 5 times. Bam, 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 bam. Making this little bit of fogginess around, right? We're gonna take our brush, come in here, grab up some of that bit of fog, some of the paint from underneath, and just mix them up together. And then all of a sudden, you just got a floating mountain that now we can't even tell where it goes off, right? Is it part of the cloud? Does some of it go back behind this section of cloud? Who knows? Maybe. If yours does, then that's awesome. Man, that's gorgeous. We're gonna try not to lose this bit of light shimmer.
Yes, Darlene, I 100% believe that you could hand paint my husband's designs on your nails that you make.
That would be cool. That would be way cool.
We were in, during our video call last night, we were going through and seeing, I had no idea, like, it's amazing how many people are so talented in that group and they just think it's like regular. And like, we're all standing there.
Oh, for them to be all super
like,
talented.
our eyeballs are up against the camera, like, that's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And they're like, nah,
That's
it's
amazing,
just,
right?
it's just that.
Yeah, like I couldn't hand design some sort of press-on nails.
Well, like with these, people are like, like, oh, that must have taken you a long time. I'm like, no, it was like 45 minutes. I'm like, really? I'm like, yeah, I was sort of going slow. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, I mean, you can tell people how I feel about pumpkin carving.
Oh yeah, London loves to carve. Don't even ask.
I do not have.
Look at this bit right here. Like, tell that story though.
I do not have the desire to cut anything in a pumpkin.
Oh, it
And
was.
generally, what happens is, in my brain, I think I can do wonderful things with a knife and a pumpkin. But realistically, after I make the first incision, I stab the pumpkin and then the pumpkin goes in the trash.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I do not have the patience.
Oh, it's fantastic though. I love your
Leave
pumpkins.
the mountain alone.
Okay.
You are ruining the dog. Or the wolf.
Just making it more,
Wolfie.
wolfy. More wolfy. Okay, down into our little tree color. Let's grab a little bit of that white though down here because I don't want it again to be too dang dark. And I don't want it to blend in perfectly with the fog that's down here either. I won't be able to see the trees. And remember, whatever color you touch, it's going to get lighter as the more times we bash it up against here. So,
Karen D'Souza on Facebook says it looks like Sebastian from The Little Mermaid.
that's awesome. The crab?
Yeah,
That's
it
fantastic.
totally does. Like the top of the mountain looks like 2 little eyeballs.
Oh, this right here?
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny. That's why I love art. Like, people see different things.
Like all you have to do is kiss the girl.
Yeah. Kiss the girl. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's take our little bit of trees over here. All right, don't need to have a whole lot. And again, you don't even really need to go to the side because we'll probably end up putting some big trees in front anyway. But we're gonna come down, we're gonna stay on the edge of that fog. I don't wanna come up into the snow because it's gonna be too thick. We just wanna leave that little line of fog underneath our trees, right? And you don't even have to go the whole distance across with these. You literally make it up as you see fit for your scene. Again, don't leave too much space in between or go up too high into your snow. You're really not gonna like what happens up there.
It appears that some other people on Facebook are having the same issue that Roberta Harris is having.
Oh no, they've been like banned from.
I don't know, I haven't seen any emojis, so I'm just gonna assume they don't like it. There's 52 people in here, but I just think they don't like it.
You don't like the hitting the emojis button. Come on, guys, you gotta tap that screen. If you open up the screen and you see
There we
all the
go.
little emojis, there we go. That helps tell Facebook that we're doing something pretty awesome and that they might want to check it out.
They might want to
They
send
might
it
want
to
to,
more
yeah,
people.
send it around, shop it around to anyone else, see if they like it. And that's how you grow as a channel. So the more you guys can help me do that, the better the paintings will be and everything else. Look at those gorgeous little trees. Gorgeous little trees. Now, if you wanted to do like reflections, you could pull them down. You can choose where you want your bank to be and then pull them down, right? And then go across. You can do that. Have the little bit of water back there, but I don't know. I don't want water in this one. So we're going to take the bottom of our trees, and again, just like we did with the mountain, we're going to tap a little bit at the top and drag it down. Drag it down, drag it down, drag it down. We're going to make a whole bunch of fog in this forest, just by tapping and dragging and tapping and dragging. And then it's gonna leave our imagination. Where is the bottom, right? Where is the bottom of the forest or the bottom of these trees? Where does it run? Where does land fall, right? And you can take it, mix it up, a soft little bit of fog rolling in through your trees, leaving little differences in color. Fantastic little things like that. Now, since we made a little bit of a darker section, why don't we do...
That's a really great question, Darlene.
Yes.
Josh goes live Friday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. He also goes live Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. He releases a new video on YouTube and Facebook and every other social media you can think of on Wednesdays. And provides shorts on YouTube,
Every other day.
Facebook, TikTok on Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays.
Yep, and sometimes Friday if we have enough shorts for that day, or that week. All right, I'm gonna take this guy. You saw me put it up there with the knife. I'm not gonna try to pull it real far though. We don't need to really pull it real far. I mean, we can shape it a little bit, but again, the more we mix it, the lighter it's gonna become, and I want it to be darker than this guy was and darker than these trees are. In order for that to happen,
Aww.
you can't mix it up too much.
Sam Root on Facebook said, "You're amazing, Josh. I'm always grateful for your free tutorials that no one else will do.
That's
And
right.
I love how you do this on the spot. I hope you get a PBS show one day."
Hey, thank you. I very much appreciate that. Look at this guy. We could literally take him and hide him in with, any little piece of anything we got going on. So simply and easily done, guys. You don't have to worry. Yours is not going to look like exactly like this, right? It can't, because how are you going to get the exact same amount of paint that I got and get it up here at the same thing and push the exact same amount? It's just not going to be the exact same. But it's going to be very close, and it's going to be gorgeous, and it's going to be yours, right? It's not going to be my painting. It's going to be your version of my painting that you did a fantastic job on. I'm just going to tell you right now, you've already done well. You have already done well. Here we go. Okay. Now, let's throw a little bit of snow on this guy over here. We're going to we could even use that same amount. I just want it to be a little bit darker. So we're going to add a little bit more, just a smidgen more of that deep dark blue. Maybe a little bit of the black in there as well, just so it's a darker, shadowy color. And if all of our shadows are on this side, we're going to come up here. Again, not trying to touch the canvas. I'm just trying to let the paint touch the canvas,
Hey,
right?
Can I show you something?
Yeah, what's up, honey? Do you want me to stop? Ooh, what is that?
It's a pumpkin carving that Crystal did.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so
Especially those eyebrow bits.
So
Those
I-
are hard to do.
I wrote back and said, "Holy word I can't say because we'd never curse on this channel."
Yeah, right?
And then I said that would have an eyebrow and be in the trash.
Yeah, as soon as and if it was mine, the eyebrow would snap when I tried to do it. Anytime I would try to do those super detailed ones,
Yeah, no.
you get like a
Eyebrow,
really
trash
short
can.
bit. Trash can. Yeah, I think it was our first house that we ever lived in London. Like,
Stab the table.
yeah, we were doing it on our ping pong table. She was on the other side of the table, luckily, or I might have caught like some blade, but she got mad. She got mad and stabbed the pumpkin to death, and then like left the knife in the table, like just straight. She like walked away. I was like, "Jeez, I don't know if I want to marry this girl or not." But we did.
And you've never been stabbed.
And
Like,
not yet.
Right, count your blessings.
Still
Count
Still-
your blessings.
Still a possibility, but not yet. All right, a little bit of white. Let's see, come up onto our lighter side of our mountain, give it a little bit of kiss of sun. It's got to kiss the sun. Maybe a little bit on this peak right here. Just a little bit though. Just so you can only just barely see it, right? Take him and we'll roll him off this side. Where he gets that smallest little bit to come off on the edge. Just a little bit of light over on the side of the peak over here. Just gives it depth. Right? It doesn't have to be this two-dimensional shape that we put up there. Once we get it up there, we can do all sorts of things. And just by adding little bits of light or dark, you can change your mountain from a 2D to a 3D to a 4D to an XD, okay? All over the place.
Thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that.
What was said?
Darlene was the one that asked the question about how often you go live.
Oh, right.
And she responded, I'll be here every Friday.
Hey! We love you. We love the fans. We love the deep fans, the true fans that know our schedules and always show up. Ooh, see, now this, if this was a peak, don't you think it would be casting a shadow over that area? So why don't we go back just with a little bit of blue.
I have no idea. I'm not the artist.
All right, put a little bit of the blue in there.
It was a hypothetical. Got it. You weren't looking for a response. Got it.
There we go. Oh, see? Just changes it. And then you got to go back and you change it again, and you change it again, you do it again, blah, blah, blah. You mix it up.
Caitlin said,
So it looks
careful,
right.
might get out my smock and easel and child paints, like when I was 6 at my parents' lake house.
That's awesome. See, that's a cool memory, because I have memories. We had my dad's mom has a bunch of family, and one of their family members had a cabin out on Bear Lake, I think, in Idaho, or I think it was Bear Lake. I know it was Bear Lake, I just don't know where it was. And we used to go up there sometimes and just have the most wicked awesome time just being kids, you know what I mean? Just hanging out. It was like when the Macarena first came out, it was horrible. Like, it was fantastic. We used to go up there, I remember the swing set we played on. I remember trying to walk down to the water. There was like giant sticks that were coming up, you know, like moss or reeds or something. And they were so sharp, you didn't even want to walk. It was just...
What have we done?
It was bad.
Josh, what have we done?
What happened?
You revealed to the wives and the agents that are in the comments that I am a pumpkin stabber.
Uh-oh.
So I have now gone and now I've become, she's not an artist, she is a pumpkin stabber.
Don't mess with London. She will stab you. Like, that's no joke.
I will not.
She will
Don't
stab
tell
a
people
fool.
that. I will not. I mean, I did when I was 3 for a kid in the face.
Oh,
And
my.
She had lead pencil stuck in her
Oh,
face.
yeah, I remember
She
you
may
told me
still
about that
have
girl.
lead pencil. But it's not really my fault because she pushed me in a tub of pink paint and nobody believed me. I had to wear pink paint in my underwear for the whole entire summer.
Right, yeah. I mean, you know,
So,
don't push me in pink
Revenge.
paint, girl, and I won't be,
Right.
you know,
it was revenge.
I
It
won't have to
wasn't,
mess
you
up
know,
your face.
I didn't just lose my mind.
There we go. Trying to get a little bit of like this white glacial. There we go. That's why we put that little shadow in there. So you get this little effect. Watch, pull this sucker down.
Caitlin says she'll just dig up dirt and make you crazy wondering what she knows. That's a much better description than the pumpkin stabber.
There we go. Cool little thing. Cool little things.
Crystal said shh.
Shh. See? Or we can just get rid of the whole thing. I didn't like it. Damn, just mess it up until it goes away, right? Now we have something else that we can play with. What can we do with that thing? All sorts of stuff. That's what. Almost like our. What if we took our one?
Julie Stroop is here. She says, hey guys, I love my teal hat.
Oh yes, that's a fantastic hat you got. I told you the teal was going to be awesome, didn't I?
If anybody else is interested in getting a teal hat, I am going to drop the link right now on YouTube and Facebook. It is to Josh's link tree. You can go there, check out his Etsy store, his Shopify store. Even if you buy nothing, will you please just go there and look at
Yeah,
stuff?
you can go look, check it out, see what's up. And then who knows, you might like something. So I always try to send people to the Etsy store because I've got the most amount of sales. It's like the most active, you know, best looking. It's got the best face, my Etsy store.
I just want to let you know that Captain Gerber happens to be watching again.
Hey, Captain Grabber, Gerber, Grebs. Look at how 3D we made this thing just by adding in all these little dips and deep dark shadows. You don't have to cover everything, right? That's the key. Don't cover it all. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Why are we here? We're just gonna cover everything. All right, you know what we can do now? This is gonna be cool too. I was again trying to save just a little bit of water, but I don't think we're gonna do water.
Why don't you save that for Sunday sisters?
Yeah, right? We could do a whole nother bit of forest, a little bit darker, a little bit closer. Get our crimson and black and mix it in there real big and thick on the brush and stay into this area, right?
If you are watching right now on Facebook or YouTube, please drop a comment and just let us know that you're here. Because one of the most difficult things is when people come up to us or they say, oh, I watched your husband the other day, and we say, well, you did?
Yeah, what's your name? Did you comment?
We have no idea. So if you drop a comment or you drop anything, written so that we can see your name, then it goes in the list of remembered people that we see regularly.
True.
And we really appreciate that.
Yeah, the more we see names, the easier it is to remember when you comment the next time that we saw your name. Look at this, forest just kind of wraps around. Very cool.
Patsy Richardson says, hope London and Bailey are doing good.
Always. We
Caitlin
appreciate that.
Caitlin says, literally bringing up some of my best childhood memories watching Bob Ross.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't like to be called Bob Ross, but I appreciate being likened to
Yeah,
Bob Ross.
you just prefer Josh Ross, it's fine.
Now my secret's out, honey.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
There we go. Look at all these cool things we could do, right? We can still continue to add trees. We could save a lake down there. We could do all sorts of stuff. You could add more trees coming that way. You can make them a little thicker because they kind of look a little sloppy, Josh. They're a little, if you make them very pointy,
Sloppy trees?
right? But it's all about, my brush is so,
I'm not mad at sloppy trees.
my brush, yeah, right. My brush is so worn out that like the more and more I pop it, the less sharp it is. You know what I mean?
Pop and lock it.
Popping it and locking it.
What was the song that you were singing yesterday that you said you were going to sing tonight during the show?
Ooh. I don't know. I was thinking about lots of songs yesterday.
Isn't it Rapper's Delight?
Oh yeah. That one's just that's keyed up, ready to go. Whenever the mood strikes. Oh yeah. I think we're gonna put some big trees in front of this guy right here.
No big trees.
Oh, the big tree.
No big trees.
Gotta have them. Gotta have them.
Mookie May says, I really love your style of painting.
Thank you. What is my style? Because I don't know.
You do know.
I know.
Give me that.
I want them to tell me what they think my style is, babe.
Amazing is normally the definition. I don't think. Maybe we have some art literature fans in the comments, but
Oh, we think it's like expressionism. Maybe they're thinking about how I just make it up as we go. It's Joshism. Just make it up as you go.
that sounds great.
That does sound cool.
Yeah, and if you're on YouTube
Paint
right
with
now making
Joshism.
up paintings, then your style is Joshism, and you better get used to that's what it's being called. Shane Beard just
Joshism.
sent 100 stars on Facebook. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Did you say that was Shane?
Yeah.
We were just talking about you, Shane. There was somebody in one of London's lives that lived in Bonnie Lake. And I was like, ooh, I know somebody from Bonnie Lake. That's cool.
I'm gonna go brush my teeth. I know that sounds like the most strangest thing to do during the live, but I just ate those tater tots and I need to brush.
Okay, no worries, honey. I'll continue to amaze the fans. I'll hold it down. Holding it down while London's gone. I don't know what to do when she leaves, guys, so we're just going to stall until London comes back, so we don't know what to do. All right, look at that. Just adding a little bit more darkness in different areas. That's why we lighten the colors of the trees back there, helps these ones stand in front, right? And then we'll put some big old monsters up here. And just because of that water, we could do another monster here. So not too many more little hash mark trees, but let's add a few. Just a few, all right? And again, with mine, I gotta go back and get more paint on my brush, otherwise they're not very sharp. All right, well, they don't need to go all the way to the edge. I always say that, and then I always take them all the way to the edge. So they don't have to go to the edge. Yours don't. Look, ooh, guys, look at this. We can even take these guys and go in front. Look at that. As long as we stay in line, stay in that foggy area and not go too high up so these two colors don't touch, right? Do all sorts of stuff in here. Very simple, little easy painting. Keep going back, get that blue and black and crimson on there. Changes it up. Very simply and easily done, guys, just like that. Got a very cool painting. And again, you can add, you know, bigger trees, which we're going to do. Or keep them small, or do whatever you want. Just when you're trying to go over your mountains, just be careful. Going over all that thick snow, right? That's gonna be tough. That stuff is not very nice, okay? Let's leave a couple little dabs in here just to turn the brush on the side, because a lot of the paint will climb up the side of it, and we can get some of that color to dump off and stay dark down there. That
I'm
would be
back
very
with my
nice.
nice clean mouth, ready to
Hello.
talk some smack.
Talk some
about-
smack.
Yeah, I heard you've been talking some schmack.
Me?
No, you said that it was fortunate that you had not been stabbed like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Would that be, you know, when you decided that reversing wasn't the optimal move in a parking lot and I fell off the back of your bike backwards?
Oh,
or would that
no, don't, let's not
or would
talk
that be,
about that.
Or would that be when you threw a Wii controller into the TV? Because I think those two things by themselves would have got me off.
Got you off?
Yeah, the life sentence.
Oh. That's possible. It's possible. I mean, me throwing the remote at the TV, that was not fun. I didn't enjoy doing
Oh,
that.
but you throwing me off the back of your bike was acceptable in a parking lot.
No, I
It
mean,
was-
you weren't
it
hanging
was-
on. So you should see.
Victim blaming.
I don't even
Victim
have to.
blaming.
I don't even have
Pride.
to look back. I can feel London's
Pride.
eyes burning a hole into my skull.
Crime.
There we go. Now let's take one of these guys and we'll make them just like got a little bit more detail on him.
Darlene, there are over 260 different videos on YouTube that are free of charge. You're free to pick any single one. We did nothing. I sat in this chair while Josh painted the American flag, the pride flag.
Yeah, those are some of my faves. Those flag
We
scenes.
got Christmas scenes. We got snow scenes.
We
We
got all
giant
sorts of
planet
scenes.
We got house scenes.
Yeah, the graveyard scene is one of my favorites.
That's probably the scene that you would love, Darlene. It's very Halloween.
Right there. Yeah, oh, it's super Halloweeny. Weenie. All right, let's take a little, just one tree.
We don't have anything with Crumpet in it, do we?
No, he's at work. Old Crumpy, he's at work.
But there's
There,
a
come
painting
up
about
here.
with Mount Crumpet that's kind of very Tim Burton-ish. Sam Root just sent 100 stars, by the way.
Sam Root coming in hot with the stars. There we go. Just mushing it on, right? Then we're gonna light him up with some snow, and he's gonna stand away from all the rest of those guys.
By the way, in case anyone was curious what the stars are going to, they're going to an iPad. And they've been going to an iPad for a large majority of the year.
Right.
So,
The iPad is expensive.
yeah, we are at 52,807 stars out of 1,012, 1,000.
100,000.
Didn't even make any sense.
Yeah,
did
right.
it?
We're like, oh, we're there.
We're at 42% of the goal. Words are hard. I'm just gonna go with that.
Words are hard. There we go. Smash in a whole big bunch of tree, right? That's all you really need. Just nice, thick. Make sure it's sticky. You want to be able to see it from the sides. Okay, and then we're going to wash off that brush, put him to rest. He has had a hard day of smacking around and dabbing and smushing. So he needs a nap, this brush.
Darlene underestimates her ability and her talent so much that this is what she just wrote. Right? You ready?
I'm listening.
I've done space themed and graveyard, but never mountains.
What?
How would you think that they compare, Josh?
That's not the right progression. Mountains are easy. Like, you should have done this first. And then you move on to harder stuff. Okay, actually we probably need one more tree in here.
You don't have any space themed paintings here today, do you?
I mean, this one's sort of red tide. It's got like a galactic sky. Can you back the cameras out?
Yeah.
Because we're about done anyway. I don't think they need to see too much more detail. We're just gonna add in a little sticky guy. You guys know my little sticky birch trees I love. So this guy maybe come in like this. The more we go down, the harder we push, extending the bristles of the brush, making the trunk thicker.
Darlene said it's nails, it's different.
Ah,
I mean, obviously on a smaller canvas, it would be much different what you can and cannot do.
Oh, definitely.
But I think the point my husband's trying to make is that if you're capable of doing graveyards and space, you're like more than capable to do mountains. I think that's the
You just need a tiny, tiny, tiny little palette knife.
tiny little brush. Crystal said, what brand of brush do you use?
So this one is a Master's Touch. These red handle ones are Master's Touch brushes. I got them from Hobby Lobby years ago. And that's why they don't really hold the shape anymore, and I complain about them being, I guess whatever the word I said was. But they're fantastic. They've lasted me so long. So it's not a bad brush. It's just I just really beat them to death. And then I use the Bob Ross brushes for everything else. What'd you say, hon? Sorry.
I said he beats the devil out of
Beats the devil out of these fan brushes. It's true, I do beat the devil out of the fan brushes the same way I do it with my other brushes, my big brushes, right into the bucket. Saves loads of paper towels, you wouldn't even imagine.
Yeah, just in case you're wondering, the bucket is a blue Lowe's bucket with a trash bag inside and
A golf ball basket that we had in the garage when I first started painting. I was like, I need to beat the devil out of the brush. And I obviously can't do it in my nice dining room where I was painting before. So how am I gonna do this? I was like, I've got a bucket. If I put something in the bottom, I could beat the devil out of the brush into it. It should all stay in the bucket. Let's try this. And then we've just used the same bucket over and over and over again.
Oh no, you are putting new brushes?
Are we all zoomed out?
Yeah, we're all zoomed out. You said
Yeah.
zoom out, I zoomed out.
Well, thank you.
Isn't that the point of being, you know,
These
the
are
producer?
These are the micro liner
Words are hard.
Meeden brushes. So they're very small. Somebody had asked on my Instagram, like, what brush are you using? I was like, it's a micro liner. And this isn't even the one that I want. I use the ones I want first, and then when they wear out, then I have to improvise. There we go. So this one, my heck.
If you are looking for any type of brush that Josh does use, or
There
any
you
type
go.
of paint, or
A little bit
anything
longer.
else, even just the easel, which I know is currently out of stock, but it will be back in stock soon, I'm sure,
Man, I want to get the bigger version of this easel.
because it has wheels.
Oh, it's got wheels, and the top adjusts down, and the bottom
Did
doesn't.
you add that easel to your stock?
I don't think I did.
Okay, well you need to do that.
I should.
Um,
Okay, take our brush, twist it as we go, pull it out. You get the bristles all lined in there, and then it's nice and thin, and you can go and make our cool little bits of tree branches. And then as you're holding your brush like this, right? The reason we want it so liquidy is so that it pulls the color out of the bristles, right? And leaves them onto the canvas as it drips down. So. Just like that. Small little things, always trying to stay out of your guys' way. Just little old things, right? And if it doesn't come off easily, then you don't have it thin enough. So go get some more thinner, go back in, and then just add little bits to your, more thinner. You gotta have it wet.
See, Darlene said, I don't have a palette knife, but I bet I could use a dull razor blade.
Yeah, or you could use a butter knife. I know a tutorial lady who does it with her shoe.
Nails. Not on
Oh
nails.
yeah, okay. I feel you.
Nails.
Here we go. Bigger, thicker branches down in here that extend further. So I
However,
like to take.
if you took some thick plastic and you cut it into a point, you could like manufacture your own mini palette knife.
No, you could. I mean, yeah, you could modify anything.
Jonathan Evely says the micro liner brushes are great. I bought a set and I really like them.
Hey, thanks, Jonathan. And again, you're not buying them from me. You're buying them through my store, so I get a little bit of commission
Yeah, teeny tiny little cut.
when you buy them through Amazon.
But oftentimes, if you buy things through an Amazon creator's Amazon page, YouTube doesn't want me to send you a super sticker. I don't think that your super stickers are only open to your super squads, aren't they?
No, super should be like a Facebook star. It should be. It should allow you to send me whatever monetary amount, like a super thanks or a super chat. We're still new to it because they only open up once you reach a certain amount of
Yeah, I don't know anything
subscribers
about
and
it.
stuff. But
I feel useless right now.
Let's take this guy, we'll do one more little bit into that foggy area, just a small little branch. Something that maybe broke off down here, maybe a moose walked by, snapped the sucker off. A couple little things, boom, just like that. Cool little bits. Now we can go highlight. Let's get rid of all the color out of that brush.
Oh yeah, you can. If you click down where, oh my goodness. Cheryl just sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Alright, let's get...
Crystal said, I've tried for 10 minutes.
That's funny. Alright, let's get a little bit of our liquid white.
I had no idea you could even do that. So if you are watching on YouTube and you are interested in having equal playing field like the Facebook stars, you can click on the little money symbol that's in between the graph and the smiley face symbol and submit a super sticker. They do cost real money. There is no requirement to send or put a sticker or do anything that you guys do. You can always just share it or, go tell your grandma. What are you doing? That was awful. Do you not understand?
I did. Look, keep looking. I do it again and I actually caught. My lips aren't as big as yours, honey.
Thanks, babe.
You've got nice, full, gorgeous, beautiful lips. And I've got little man, skinny lips and...
Little man, skinny lips. I feel like that there was just a problem in the sentence in itself.
Thin lips, I mean.
Yes, thin
There we
lips. That's it.
Okay, a little bit of liquid white, a little bit of titanium white. Coming over here, all of our light is coming from the right, so just do the left-hand side of the tree. Little dabs upward, just like this. Pop, pop, pop,
If you
pop.
are also annoyed by my voice, you can go on
Just like that.
YouTube and pay for the subscription and not hear my voice.
True.
In case you were wondering how you watch Josh paint without my voice.
That's how.
Yeah.
You can join the super squad, just like someone did earlier today. And look at the amount of color
Someone.
change.
Her name is Caitlin.
Caitlin did earlier today. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think, I'm making up a painting as we go. I'm sorry, Caitlin. But you can see how much of that thick, dark paint that we picked up just from touching the liquid white to it. So, you can always wipe your brush off, go back, get a little bit more liquid white, get a little bit more of our titanium white, because you want it to be about a good mix. Not too thick, not too thin. All right, mix it up in there, and then we're gonna come in and come up to the top of this guy. Touch him on the side, just very lightly. I'm gonna try to stay out of your guys' way while I do it, but I have to do it this way. And just pop in the corner, kind of moving along, leaving little areas, some lit up, some not, some shadows, right? Gotta have different things in there. Haven't spun the brush, haven't twisted it around yet, just pushing in different places, so we've got about half of it. You only start with that corner, and you start touching it and touching it. You try not to let it reach all the way out to the edge until you need a branch to pop out there. Right, so I'll pop over here. Now, I'm having to start to push too hard to get it to stick, right? And that's gonna start to mess up all my little shapes in here. So I'm gonna flip the brush over, I'm gonna use the other corner now. And now I have to be very gentle and light because it's very loaded, it's thick, and in order to have it continue looking the same as we go down, you gotta kind of find it. Find where how hard to push in, how far to climb up the brush. Look at the brush now. You see how it's climbed all the way up there? Because the more we push in, the further we go down, the more we're touching, and the more darkness our brush will pick up. But just like that, you don't have to cover everything. Cover about 3/4 of it, leave some areas, and then when you get that darkness, go back into your dark areas and leave little bits of gray, little bits of light, little bits of something going on. That's very cool. That's probably one of the best trees I've done right there. Very neat looking. Just try not to cover it all. Your brain wants to you're like, okay, I did it all black, now I want to do it all white. You know what I mean? And just cover everything. But there's no depth there.
Caitlin said, I am a sister wife. How dare you forget my name?
Oh, Caitlin, I'm sorry, honey. Honey buns.
Just for anyone who's watching right now who thinks that there's some sort of weird polygamous relationship happening, it's a joke. They're like
Right.
closest friends.
They're London's friends. They talk every night.
Joke.
So yeah, let's take our knife, turn it upside down. Just touch, right? Not smush. Not too much pressure. Just find the right pressure. Pull to the side.
I mean, no disrespect to you, babe, but at times you find it difficult to handle me. I don't know what you do with 6 extra women.
Oh,
I'm just
please.
saying.
I would go crazy, is what I would.
Julie Hamlin is in the house. Painting with Josh and commentary by London really is the best way to spend my Friday night. That's lovely.
That is
You
lovely.
guys are just on a mission to make me cry all day today.
London's been feeling down, guys. Give her some love.
Stop. I'll be
See?
better.
We love you, Will. We know, but we all love you. Even all the fans love you too. Let her know, guys, in the comments. I want to see London walk out of here crying because she's had so much love from you guys.
Hey, whoever's on Facebook that keeps smashing the angry emoji button, if
You're
this
gonna make
tutorial
London
makes
mad.
you angry, please leave. Please go find something that you find joy in.
London is
Please
gonna
don't
get
just
mad
be
at
here and
you.
be angry. Oh, they've stopped now. They've stopped now. It must have been an error. It was a pinky. Nope, there's another one. I see it.
There we go. Little things. Don't have to cover everything, right? Just
Thanks,
little
Lily.
bits. Very cool.
Thank you, Lynette.
Haha, getting London love.
Thank you, Patsy.
Just touching the top with this little bit of white, so we got a little bit of snow got left out on some of these branches.
You guys are so nice.
Not covering it all.
Caitlin says I love you both.
Thank you. We love you.
You should be very grateful. I didn't take a photo last night, but you should be very grateful that you didn't see what I did to my face last night.
What happened?
Because I hennaed my lip liner and I hennaed my eyebrows on.
Yeah.
Which, look over here.
No, they won't come off. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you showing me
But
the,
when you put it on, it goes super, 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 super dark.
right?
And so I just was in a consistent state of anxiety.
Oh, like it
Now
wasn't
I have-
gonna lighten up
Yeah.
and it was gonna stay that dark forever.
Yeah, like it looked like I'd taken a Sharpie to my face.
Oh no.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
And I even made the joke, I was like, it's fine, I don't have to go in public, right? I could just wear, like a balaclava or something.
Right.
And Darlene was like, aren't you married? And I was like, yeah, but we'll just forget that.
Yeah,
I
he's.
think it'll be alright. I think it'll be fine if I look like a cartoon character for the rest of my life.
You're like, what's he gonna say?
Well, hopefully nothing, but
There we go.
they were scarily dark.
But then they bright. How long did it take for him to brighten up?
Well, this was the thing, I was afraid, right? So after about an hour and 25 minutes, anxiety got the best of me, so I took them off.
A little bit of black in there, guys, just in the
And,
deepest areas. Yeah.
And yeah, but I think it's gonna be like a repetitive type thing to get the depth that I want. You know,
Right.
You're
Oh yeah.
you
gotta try it. And
you
then
know,
you, get,
you
yeah.
know,
You
right?
already know. You gotta try, and then you gotta see what that is gonna look like, and then when that doesn't look right or looks right, then you do that or don't do that.
Which reminds me, how long have you been painting, Josh?
3 years, let's say. Why?
Oh, I'm just for anyone who thinks that they can't pick it up or thinks.
Oh,
that
no,
they've
yeah,
done it
I mean,
since
they-
you were 2 or.
No, I've literally been doing it for 3 years and making it up for the last 2 years and 9 months. I watched literally like 4 or 5 before I had my stuff, I watched Bob Ross when London's mom passed away. We talked about that in the last week, actually. And I watched tons and tons of episodes. A lot of Blue Mountain episodes. I didn't like if there was just trees or this, because I love scenes like this, right? So those are the ones I watched. And then when London ordered me the stuff for my birthday back in 2019, and it showed up a month early, I only maybe painted with like 3 or 4 of his videos. I'd seen many of them, and then I only did like 3 or 4 before I started making them up on my own and seeing what happened if I did this or what happened if I did that, and just kind of turned out the way it did.
Sorry to interrupt you. Darlene just wrote, I have now made 2 tiny palette knives.
There we go. See, necessity is the mother of invention.
Crystal would like me to, oh, that's the cutest thing. Cheryl said, love you like grapes in bunches.
That's
Oh.
neat.
Crystal would like you to, do my lips and my eyebrows with henna on Discord tonight.
Oh, you want me to do that?
I really don't. I mean,
I don't think London wants
No,
that.
like we gotta
I
stay.
don't know,
We
I
gotta
like
stay in our
this.
lanes.
Right. I like that it's just, there's no ground, right? This is just the tops of the trees, and these guys are just so tall. You know what? We should put one more big one over there.
And plus the fact
We
that
should.
I rib them all the time about things that happen, like throwing a Wii controller into a super expensive.
Okay, that's the second time
Right.
we've brought it up
Right. So
in
if-
one show.
Right. So if I let you do my eyebrows, what's not gonna say that I'm gonna end up with like one of your straggly looking
well,
trees on my face.
you didn't seem to mind when I was doing your hair.
Well, yeah, but that was different.
Ah.
There was
Not so tall, just because I don't want to fill it up so
there
much.
was no anger there. I believe that there would be anger if I allowed you to touch my eyebrows this evening.
There we go. Little dabs. Remember, this is just your shadow. It doesn't have to be your full-on bit of tree.
We gotta get you a squirrel and a giant palette.
I do need one of those giant palettes.
You
I
do
mean, there's a
definitely
lot
need
of
one of those
beginners
giant
that have that giant palette, and I look at it and I'm like, why don't I have that giant palette? Like, if anyone needs that giant palette, it's me, folks. So, the Help Josh Get a Giant Palette Fund is on the way. No? Nobody? Okay. Let's see. Somebody had commented on my Instagram post, and they were like, I can't figure out how you can work with such a small palette. Like, you know, when I went to go look at their page, they had the Bob Ross big palette. And I'm like, well, it's just, you know, you work with what you got. That's literally it. There we go, baby. Yeah, it doesn't have to be super bright down around the bottom. Now that I've got that darkness on there, right, now I can go back into the, like the shadowy side and not hit every single branch because they don't all have to be super bright. Right? Just like that. Fantastic.
You know what's funny? And I'm not trying to get political, but you know that thing that they say about freedom of speech?
Yeah.
Right. So Caitlin just posted on YouTube, and YouTube was like, it's up to you whether or not you wish to show or hide this comment.
Oh, what was the comment?
This was the comment. He definitely needs a squirrel in his shirt pocket to feed his nuts to. Right? Because they know how much you love peanuts.
That's true.
Right?
The girls do know I love
Right,
it.
but
peanuts.
YouTube's like, oh, they said pocket,
Nuts.
they said nuts, like we can't.
Put my nuts in your pocket.
We're not sure about this comment. Like,
Alright, I like this brush, so I'm going to really try to keep it clean. Get the stuff out of there. Okay, let's put in the...
you guys are smashing those emojis now.
You guys are the boss. The boss. Where should we put our... let's put our signature right here in the center, right?
aggression. No, you need some birds.
Well, yeah, we know that.
Well, I just making sure you don't forget.
How could I forget you?
Is that like a serious question?
I mean, I have forgot the birds in the past. I've
Right.
forgot birds
Right.
before.
I think, how many people have paintings without birds on it?
I think Roberta has one.
I know John Krasniak has
John
one.
Grasniak probably has one. There's someone else that bought one that I didn't. There's some out there that don't even have my signature on the back because, you know, I sometimes get a little relaxed and I forget to sign stuff or, you know, finish the edges or whatever. But I love this. Like, right, if you were here in the beginning, you saw we did not paint any of these clouds. It's just color. That's it. It's fantastic. 4 colors in this painting. That's it. Love it. Love it, love it. We need the birds. Where's the birds? Where's the birds? And that's why I like having all 3 of these too, because they make the perfect, like, shadowy color.
Josh,
So always keeping them on the palette like that. Yeah.
what is happening in your YouTube comment section?
What is holy.
It's just a lot of laughy faces.
Who's laughing?
People think you're hilarious.
Oh, looking.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. London is hilarious.
That's it.
It was me. I'm hilarious.
You are the
You're
funny
the
one.
talented one. I'm the hilarious
I'm funny looking.
one. You're not funny looking.
You're just funny.
Name Dog Mountain.
Talk about.
Puppy Mountain.
There we go.
Sebastian the Mountain.
I do see the dog. I mean, the crab, I guess, kinda. If he had like one real long claw.
No, but he sits like this, doesn't he? Every time you ever see him.
True, yeah, he's like
he
that.
sits like this, like
It's
he
very
waddles
cool.
like this. Josh, he just gives it all this.
He gives it all of that. All right, well, very neat, guys. That one turned out fantastic. This tree, I mean, all the pine trees today, and look, you want to know the difference? Where's one of my recent ones that we did? None of them are
Over
here,
there.
of course.
Over
No,
Over there.
yeah. Can I get that small one right here? Because I'll show you the difference between having, right? It's dry. Doing the trees with the same brush to do the highlights and the shadows versus doing the tree with a big brush for your shadows and a micro brush for your highlights. Can you guys see the difference? Like that micro fan brush, So vital. At least get a smaller fan brush than what you're making your shadows with, right?
So what he's actually trying to tell you is that if you buy the panel piece in front, on the back of the panel piece will be the reflection of a different painting because he just pushed it against wet paint.
Yeah. Just like that. Thank you. I do want to do another one of those 10 by 20s, but we're going to do it this way. It'd be like a long panoramic scene. It'd be really cool. There we go. It's getting a little bit thick up there. That one's got a lot of snow on the branch. Branch, my man.
Yvonne Sparhawk is here, so I feel that it's only necessary to talk about
To do a Santorini smoosh.
a Santorini smoosh and also to rep Yvonne's business for a moment.
Yes. So Yvonne Sparhawk sells Santorini stones.
I'm sorry, Yvonne was late because she has a new nephew.
Oh, super cute.
The baby.
So she sells Santorini stones that are big flat stones, right? They're super soft, they're super absorbent, and they allow the color to dry in very quickly. So what we've been doing is doing like little abstract scenes on our Santorini stones because she sends me like tons of them, right? So, and I've always tried, I've wanted to be an abstract person. Thank you. This is one that we did that's not abstract, that's more my style stuff. And it dried in like 6 hours. It was dry. It's fantastic. The rock like soaks everything up. But this is one of the more kind of sunsetty boat on the ocean abstract scenes that I'm actually sort of proud of.
So we're now calling them Santorini
Yeah,
smooshes.
Santorini smooshes. Oh, this was the very first one we did. Just a cool little panoramic scene. Even left the back blank. Oh, did I practice the cow on that?
I don't know, but
I must have practiced.
That is an amazing cow.
I must have practiced the cow shape on this before I did it for that commission.
Given your
Didn't even know
horrifying
that.
ability to paint animals, that is a really impressive
Oh,
cow.
thanks, babe.
I'm just being honest.
Mm.
Someone said to me the other day, could you paint a giraffe? And I was like, I really don't even want to have that conversation.
Yeah, don't even, I'm not even going to read Josh that question because the answer is no.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, let me take off one of these at least.
Michael Jackson it.
Yep. So we also do Paint with Josh merch, right? Like the hats, the pillows, the shirts. What else do we have? I think we have mouse pads and all sorts of crazy
Laptop covers,
stuff.
laptop
I think
sleeves.
I think I got rid of all the laptop
Oh,
stuff.
you did?
Yeah,
Okay,
that
cool.
nobody had ever bought any of the
Fantastic.
laptop. Well, maybe one.
Can
but-
you show this painting, please?
Yeah. Is this the one that one of the people you were saying might really be into because it's like a graveyardy scene? Look at that.
Well, that, and there's a question that says, can you do a cabin?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a big old cabin right there. That is a big old cabin. We did a cabin in my last scene on 10 by 20 canvas, the one we just put out on
There's a
Wednesday.
cabin down there, too, on Blue Moon.
Yeah, oh, that's a great one, yeah. This is a good example of a smaller cabin we would normally paint on a, just very simple shape. Trying a house shape, roof, other side, a little bit of the side. You know what I mean?
This is why I don't hang
That's
out
okay.
in your studio.
But yeah, this was one of my favorites at the time. Look at that tree, see? Don't kill all the darkness, just like this tree over here. Don't kill all the dark.
And if you're interested in igloos, he paints them too.
That's true. If you're like, I've painted enough cabins, I just can't get my cabin right, then look up my igloo scene, where we paint an igloo instead of a cabin.
Show this
And
one.
that one came out great. Hang on. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Okay, which one? And we got this one too. This one we did on another canvas. I wish I would have had proper canvas at the time. But yeah, the upside down inverted American flag. It's got super texture on it. This one turned out great. We have, where are those? Here's another one with the cabin. Look at this. This one you can actually see through the window to the tree behind the cabin, which was tough. And just that little bit of inside wall was hard to kind of make my brain do that.
I like this one.
Let's see, which one? This one's super old. But I mean, look at the texture. Can you see how far the flowers, it's like,
Yeah.
they were like acrylic globs, but with oil. Yeah, that's what we used to put out. So everyone's like, oh, Josh, you're just good, no, not all the time. It wasn't always, right? It takes practice. Look at these trees. What happened to these trees? What, like, the filter I used looked to be about that long, which is just way too big.
Josh, you made it, by the way.
I made it to try to get you to go somewhere else. But yeah, I keep those in the comments all the time. A lot of them are to adult sites. I don't want those to be in the comment section. So, I go visit the site and I delete it from the comments. I'm just kidding.
Somebody has scrolled through and Paul has activated the spam.
Hell yeah.
It's like, that's how you
That's what's up. So we're like so close to 4,000 subscribers, guys, on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook and you don't subscribe on YouTube, all you need is a Gmail account. It's free to sign up. And I'm almost there. Like we're like 39, 38, almost like 100 and something away. Yeah, on YouTube. And we're only about 100 or so, maybe 200 away on Facebook from 10,000 followers on Facebook. You guys remember this one? I'm about to cover it. And because I need more black canvases to paint on. Oh, speaking of which, there is a sale going on in the shop right now. 10% off on all the t-shirts, hats, pillows, prints, canvas prints, stuff like that. And then 50% off original canvas paintings. Anywhere in the U.S., they're going to ship for free. And if you're outside the U.S., that's why we provide the prints. But if you really want an original and you're outside the U.S., send me a message. I'll try to get a quote and we'll see what we can do. Versus, Etsy giving us a bigger online quote.
How much was the US?
Oh, the one I was going to charge the guy like, I don't know, $1,200. And then the shipping for it was like $1,400 to send like a 24 by 30 to Iceland. I was like, oh, he's not going to like that. So, I love it. It's like, oh, it's fuck, just death. And you can watch me put it together. We didn't, this canvas is flat. It's not a 3D thing. We should have made it like that. We should. The sound is going funny. Well, it's about time to get off anyway. YouTube seems to only last for a little while.
Yeah, it's going funny.
Okay, well, let's just say goodbye, everybody, and we'll get out of here. So, if you can hear me, I wish I knew ASL. I know it's very disrespectful.